Good morning, everybody. This is Plum Darkness here. Not a gameplay footage today, but this video is going to be I guess, more personal, not for me though, but more political, more social issue. Because they just, these issues are around us, right? Can't just, do video game, you know, gameplay footage and all the time because there's issues around us, right? And it's not really a big issue though. This is something I noticed, and I personally have worked in customer service for more than 10 years, and so this is my observations. So customer service meaning that I worked in a field where I am dealing directly with the consumer in some way, shape, or form. So that and I'm just watching these videos, crazy videos of like just employees and rants and stuff like at places, right? And then I watch these videos and I'm like, okay, the employee sometimes goes on a rant because the customer pissed him off or something, like him or her off, and or the customer goes savage and goes crazy because they can't get their chicken sandwich or whatever happened, happened. And I'm like thinking to myself, and I try to look at both sides, right? And then, but here's the ultimate deal, guys, for consumers, because I deal with consumers all the time, and this is not like a stance on the customer's always right, and the employee is is always right, or if this is the straw, this is the final deal here, that customer's not always right. When we go to another place, another service, another store, they get a service done. That's why it's called customer service. When we get some kind of service done, whether it's a food, whether it's even working on your car, when it's going to Best Buy and getting electronics, going to GameStop to get a game. Go in the shoe store to get some shoes, go in the Dollar Tree to get some dollar stuff, whatever, going to get some ice cream. Whether you're going somewhere where you're getting a service done to you, you, as a consumer, are having this mentality that I'm right. But the whole thing is that the customer's always right is a service. It's not a right. It's not a privilege. It's more like just. It's an extra perk that they give, that they tell, that that they show to the consumer, to us, to kind of entice them in and bring them back and tell other people to come back. Helps the business out, right? It's a service to the consumer. The customer's always right. They have and hoping to have a good service. It is a service to the customer. Customer service. That's why it's called customer service. But they're not entitled to do it, and you're not entitled to receive it. So that doesn't give them excuses to be an asshole to you, and it also does not give you an excuse as a consumer to be an asshole to them. So if you don't like the service, you can leave. You can try to get a refund if you paid money, go somewhere else. That's it. That's the bottom line. That's it. And if you don't like it, you don't go on these stupid rants. You don't go on Facebook or Twitter or whatever, and you just move on. That's it. So I think that's what one of the things kills retail and kills fast food service right now and gives it all these negative connotations, is that that this entitlement of I'm always right as a consumer, that needs to be thrown out the window. It's a service to you guys, to us, to to have a good service and to help you bring it back. But guess what? If it doesn't happen, it just doesn't happen, and you move on. So I see videos all the time of just employees flipping out because they got pissed off by a customer, or customers flipping up because they didn't get service done to them well. I just move on. I was just watching this video of top employee rants, and then often sometimes I'll see, I saw this one video where McDonald's closed down like 11:50. You know, when it's supposed to close at midnight in the lobby, and some guys flipping out that, oh, he's like, you know, it's like, it says 11:50, it says 11:50, it says 12 o'clock. I can still go in. Like, no, you can't. Guess what? Because the manager closed the door on you. So what? You know, I remember I got a call one time, you know, working at a place that, you know, that we closed at 9 o'clock, and a customer called and said, hey, you know, and I told them we're closed. Like, well, you know, I was going to buy something, but you guess you lost my service. I'm like, oh, yeah, or I don't include your service, man. I closed. Anything after that time is not my business. I didn't lose your business because I didn't gain it, because I never had it in the first place. You know what I mean? So, you know, I think here's maybe make a PSA about it, but let's, as consumers, have the decency and the dignity to kind of have this mentality to go into these places and hoping to have a good time and have a good service, but don't have that entitlement that, you know, I'm always right. Because remember, because when you're leaving your house, you know, it's outside of your house. When you go in someone else's house, you don't go to someone else's house and expect to have, you know, your rules apply to their house. You know what I mean? And I do the same mentality when you go anywhere else out. Any other store. Don't take your rules with you. You go by their rules, the store's rules. Okay, so and I think this will help out everybody else's experiences, especially as we're moving towards the holidays, which gets really chaotic, especially for retail. So that if they don't have an item in stock, you know, especially if you guys are going to like GameStop and Best Buy and stuff like that, if they don't have your Nintendo Classic, guess what? Nintendo Classic is discontinued, guys. Do your research. It's discontinued. It's going to be a bitch in a handbasket to find. Try not, just stop bombarding the guys with like, why? How come they're doing this? How come they're doing that? Guess what? Talk to Nintendo, okay? Why are you asking these guys for? You know, they don't speak for Nintendo. You know, Nintendo's a vendor through them, right? They don't know that information. They stop making the Nintendo Classic. Just stop asking about it. If you can't find your Nintendo Switch, well, guess what? I'm sorry. You know, it's a hot item. What do you expect? You know, they're holding on to them, like, you know, for safekeeping. You know, that doesn't way it works. So just, you know, I think it's, by the way, it helps. I think it helps as a consumer if you ever worked in customer service for retail, to have that perspective. Like for me as a customer, when I go through somewhere and my service is not right, I'm missing something, I don't get too bummed out about it, 'cause I understand. But of course I want my item back, you know, got paid for it. But other than that, like, I don't get too disappointed when I don't have a good service, because shit happens and it's not my rules. It's their rules. If I don't get a good service, I don't get a good service. So anyway, so let's have that mentality when we go into the holiday year, which is way far away, of course, and hopefully it'll be a better, smoother holiday. We won't have any of those stupid Black Friday mishaps. Cool. That's it. Thanks guys for watching.